Okay, good to see that it's been started. I need to share my screen and then we will discuss about the things related to scouting of the opportunities. Now, see, this things we are doing is from the perspective of establishing a project in a physical manner. But let me tell you, this is also applicable to taking the investment decision while you are investing in some shares and securities. All the things we have done no, right now, till now, right from identifying the industry through the five force model, identifying the strengths, the barriers to the competitors, everything. Then company product specific analysis like experience curve as well as the life cycle approach. This you should try to identify when you are doing the investment decision as well. So all the things we have seen till now is also applicable to the investment things too. But we are right now focusing on making a capital investment in our project. That's why the kind of the efforts we'll be putting will be very very rigorous as compared to the investing decisions we make. Now investing decisions, generally we make the investment based on few information. The amount of investment is also very limited, and if the investment will not perform well, you have some exit opportunities too. But here in this project decision making, you do not have many exit opportunities. The investments are huge. This kind of a decision does not happen on frequent basis. These are highly complex decision you make. That's why you do not have the exit opportunities too, right? So this must be much more rigorous as compared to the investment decisions you make. But yes, if you make some investing decisions like taking the ownership of 10 to 15 percentage of a particular company or of some players of those particular industries, then again that process will be rigorously followed. So if you think from a perspective of say Rakesh Junjunwala, if he want to invest 500 crores, 1000 crores in one Titan company, he would also go with all the procedures we have done till now. Right, so let me just again give you the brief idea of what we had discussed. We had first discussed that corporate appraisal is something that needs to be undertaken by the company first of all, by the person who is investing. Might be a promoters, might be a company if it is already an existing one. Now corporate appraisal gives you the idea about where you are standing right now, your pros and cons, your advantages, disadvantages, the competitive edge which you have among the players in the industry, the SWOT, strengths and weaknesses, opportunities and threats you have, in what particular dimension, what industry, what department you enjoy the competitive edge over others, what's the situation, what's the current situation, right? That's the corporate appraisal. You try to assess something, that's the appraisal. So what you are assessing, your own standing. Okay, then tools for identifying the investment opportunities. Now when you do the industry analysis, generally we adopt the Porter's five force model to do the industry analysis. We have seen that. Then we come to a product specific analysis, a company specific analysis. From a project finance perspective, if you look at it, that if you want to get into a one product, you try to identify that what is the life cycle of that product which you have seen till now among the competitors. So in how many number of years, which product reaches to which stage? How many number of years you will remain in the growth stage based on the historical experiences of yours, or based on the historical data you have for the other similar kind of a products established by the similar kind of an industry. In how many number of years there is a possibility that this product will be entirely obsolete, and accordingly you can strategize your finances, your investment decisions. The experience curve, in how many number of periods you will be able to achieve some level of quantity so that you will have a learning advantage. And that's visible everywhere. Once you are habituated to certain processes, you have a learning advantage. Now you'll not be spending too much of time on the things which were newer to you earlier because of the technological advancements which have taken place and because of the economies of scale which you enjoy. Obviously, more and bulk quantity you will be dealing with, lesser and lesser the cost would be. There is always an effect of quantity on the cost. Why this D-marts and all the Reliance malls and big bazaars are right now so successful model? The primary reason is that they have the economies of scale, the kind of a bulk purchase which they can make from the companies. They are able to afford certain goods and services. Well, now today our focus will be on scouting of opportunities. I tell you that please do not just consider it from the perspective of the project establishment. Also take it from the perspective of the investment analysis. One of my friend is there, who is an investment banker, and they have some high profile individual clients, who generally make the investments in crores. So this fellow is one who conducts the entire research, who tells those people about the opportunities in the various industries. So some of the things I could find in the textbooks, but then I personally had a word with them that how do you generally identify the opportunity? If some big person comes to you and says that I want to invest say 50 crores of rupees, how you will be presenting the opportunity to those people? How first of all you identify the opportunity? So I have taken some of the inputs of him as well, and obviously some of the things have been taken from the textbook too. The first thing is they try to identify and analyze the performance of existing industries. Now I told you that first of all you should start looking from a broader perspective. Say you are flying over a mountain, from a bird's eye perspective you are looking at the jungle. Now you are just able to see the broad perspective related to the things you see right now. The minute details you are not very much aware about. Now again, you go a little bit at the downside and you will be able to see the degree of minuteness up to a certain extent. You will be able to see some detail now, but still it is not a very minute detail. So now we are into a second stage where you are able to see something but not very clearly. Now, to see something very clearly, you will have to go into the individual projects, inflows and outflows, estimate their requirements. Still, we are not into the last stage, somewhere in between. Now you are again identifying the opportunity, but at a middle stage with little bit more detail, but not the exact minute detail. So I hope you can understand that at which stage we are right now. So analyze the performance of existing industries. Now those investment bankers, when generally they make the investments on behalf of the clients, they first of all present the valuations of the industries. So based on the timing of their investment, they suggest that what is the current valuation of, say for example, IT industry. So just before a month back, if you look at the IT industries, their valuations were pretty high. So people started booking the profit in the IT stocks in last couple of weeks because their valuation got high and other industries were looking cheaper as compared to the IT stocks. So here in the investment, your entry also matters. Now same is applicable while making the capital investment into these industries. You try to identify what are the various industries. Please do not be very impulsive and compulsive when it comes to the investment opportunity. Generally we are the buyers who are very impulsive in nature. We just see a very less opportunities, and then we put everything on the luck that એ તો ભાઈ નસીબમાં હોય ને એ જ મળે. પણ નસીબમાં હોય તે ઓપોર્ચ્યુનિટીઝ જોઈતી બેટા એવું ના હોય. Please go through every details. And here in this case, you do not have the luxury to reverse your decisions. You are making it for so many number of years. These are very highly complex decisions. Go through the every industries. Look at their performance parameters. There is one website called Industry Outlook. I have opened it for you guys. You can check the relevant insights about the industry from there only. Let me show that to you again. This one, Industry Outlook, or if you can reach it out, you can see and this is particularly in the context of India. You can see historical time series data, some forecast of the industrial output. They have already calculated some of the things, the kind of big projects which are right now happening in that industry. You would be able to see the minute details of each and every industry when you click on it. So go through that. This is something which is very in food and agro based product. If I go and if I click on this tobacco products, then you will be able to see many things related to the tobacco there. Similarly would be the textile, you know. So go through that and identify what are the general trends you are able to see in the entire industry. Some of the industries itself are at the downtrend. I have repeatedly given you the examples of some of those industries. Like if you say oil and gas industry, which is naturally at the downtrend, even though some of the times you find the valuations very attractive, but if the entire slope of the industry is a downtrend, then what's the meaning of making the investment in those industries for a long period of time? Yes, for some short term opportunities, if you want to take some short term advantage, you take the speculation benefit, get out of it, that's fine. But for a longer period of time, you cannot remain in an industry which is naturally at a downtrend, right? So that's one thing. Examine the inputs and outputs of various industries. Now, he identified some of the stocks. The person in question is the investment banker who is one of my friends. He identified some of the stocks of chemical industry with so much of detail, and his video is also available on his YouTube channel. I was really surprised to see such kind of a minute detailing that he had done. He also gathered the data that some of the chemical industries he found very attractive, like Aarti and some of the other stocks were there. He saw that these valuations are cheaper and he identified the opportunities in the external environment. He identified that the firms related to the chemical industry in China are closing down because of certain policies adopted by the Chinese government in those states. So in those states of the China, some of the advancement in rules and regulations have taken place, and because of that the chemical industry of those states were facing certain issues. Now obviously the immediate and the major benefit of those closing down of the business units of the chemical sector in China would go to the immediate neighbor of China, that is India. And if those immediate benefits would go to the India, then who are the companies who are dealing in such products and chemicals? So what could be the potential future effect on these industries? So he identified what are the inputs, what are the outputs, what particular thing which industry takes into account, what are the various raw materials which are used in the industry, what are the various outputs. Now identify the scope, the product in which you will be establishing the organization, you will be establishing the entire setup. What's their import and export status? Some of the goods would be like they are domestically consumed. Now this depends on the kind of a strategic location as well, right? If your location is such from where you find the import and export opportunities, then that's the added advantage. You need to see that the particular product in which you are dealing, what's the status of their exempt trade. Some of the products are not very much dealt in exports and imports. They are domestically consumed. Some of the products have high demand when it comes to export and imports. If I tell you one of the example of my hometown native place only, they have identified our town Talalagiri is very famous for the mango production of the mangoes. Now the best quality mangoes are now being exported to various countries. Now I told them that we are living over here in the Talala, but still we were not finding the best quality mangoes over there because the kind of a quality which was given to the other people outside the India was far superior than the kind of a quality we are consuming here. And we have lot of bandars as well nearby that. Wherever is there, then uh, we are right now at the Gujarat coastline, so we have various opportunities too to export this. So identify that the product in which you are dealing, what are the opportunities when it comes to domestic market and the export market. Study plan outlays and governmental guidelines. Some of the policies of the government would be affecting the entire industry. If I give you the example, say government comes up with the subsidy for the electronic vehicles. Now, if you will just think over here, as I've repeatedly said, from a project perspective, then it wouldn't be looking very much interesting for you. But if you will be looking at this thing from an investment perspective, it would be very, very interesting, I tell you. If government comes up with the subsidy on the electronic vehicles, then obviously some of the, and if you go by the trend, if you do little bit of an analysis, you will come to know that in electronic vehicles, the number of accessories and tools which are used are quite less as compared to the traditional vehicles which are consuming diesel and petrol. Now based on that, you can identify that how many tools and accessories will be removed at all entirely, and the industries which are dependent on those tools and accessories, and if your money is invested in those industries and stocks, obviously it could be an alarming sign for you to get out of this business, to get out of the stock. Government guidelines. Now if government start promoting electric vehicles, obviously it would be affecting some of the major businesses. Now you may see that you can analyze the Tata Motors stock. That's something which I'm giving to you as a home assignment. Now Tata Motors stock is reaching to the highs day by day nowadays since last few weeks. The potential reason that I have identified by having a word with some of the industry experts, that people are right now, the people who are the big people, the domestic individual investors, mutual funds, and all those people right now are banking on the Tata Motors based on the future potential, not on the current valuation. Currently you might not be able to see too much in the Tata Motors, but if government will move to the electric vehicles, then the major beneficiary of the electric vehicles could be the Tata Motors, because they have such kind of an expenditure capacity, first of all, when it comes to the Indian stock, Indian company. Number two, they have the competitive edge too. Number three, they have already established some distribution networks. Number four, they have the plans and facilities to manufacture this. So major beneficiary could be the Tata Motors. So that's why right now the stocks are traded at the greater valuations. So sometimes your investment decisions are not just based on the current valuations. You try to understand what is the future potential. Now that's why the Tata Motors is up, and the major factor which is working behind that is the e-vehicle facility. Number two, their exports are getting increased. Some of the speculations are also there related to the announcements of new products by the Tata Motors. These all are working, and that's why the company is doing such well when it comes to the stock markets. Right? So government guidelines can positively or negatively affect your entire industry. Some of the guidelines might just rip off the entire industries entirely. Look at it. Understand what is the regulatory framework. Some of the industries are highly regulated ones, but some of the industries are very liberal ones where government interference is not much. That's always a factor which works while selecting any opportunity, identifying any opportunity, right? Some of the industries we people are not aware. I was taking one entrepreneurship program, and in which I said to the students that there are certain subsidies, various subsidies and kinds of benefits which government offers on manufacturing of certain products, but people are not aware about it. Indulge yourself into such intense research, where you know that what are the various government guidelines related to certain products. Yes, the entire manufacturing establishment cost has been taken by government in certain occasions. Some of the CAs who are right now working in the project finance, no, they they will prepare your documentation, your plan outlays, your proposal, and they would be submitting it to the government agencies, and they would be working for your subsidy. And they take around 2 to 3 percentage as a commission from the subsidy. Now you can imagine what is the 2 to 3 percentage of that subsidy. If 5 crores rupees of subsidy has been received, 2 to 3 percentage would be 5 to 10 lakhs. They are working, and they are working under the umbrella of project finance, right? So identify that opportunities. We are unaware about it. Majority of the things which are for which we are hiring the other professionals, no, those are the things for which we are not aware about. They are not very complicated things. Like if you say filing the income tax return from a chartered accountant is not a very complicated task, but we are not aware about it. We don't know what are the various heads of income. We don't know how to file it. We don't know how to pay the tax of it. Anyway, that's altogether a different thing. But go to the government framework over there, the kind of subsidies which you can get, the kind of an additional benefits you get, the regulatory framework by the government. Some of the industries are operating in a very strict environment. Some of the industries in which there is absolutely no kind of a legal framework. Look at the suggestions of financial institutions and developmental agencies. Do not have the ego. Now, this is a bit of an behavioral aspect. Now, if you are supposed to take the suggestions for the institutions and some of the highly, recognized institutions like ICRA says that you should not go into these industries right now, look at their suggestions. Investigate local materials and resources. सर मैंने वो प्रोडक्ट तो कर लिया है, लेकिन उसके लिए मटेरियल्स कहाँ से निकालूंगा? तो वो तो यूरोप में बनता है, तो अब क्या करें? कुछ नहीं होगा बेटा। आइडियाज तो हर एक के लोगों के पास होते हैं, कहाँ से मैं कैसे करूंगा वही तो मैटर करता है। Investigate that whether you will be able to get the kind of a raw materials locally. Now, if I give you one of the examples of the Hyundai Motors, when the Hyundai Motors established their plan in United States of America, at that time they came up with very economic car, very, very, I can say in a layman language, a cheap luxury purposes, and the cars are also consumed for the luxury purposes. So high, gigantic, huge, good design cars were getting sold in 1980s at that time. But they came up with an economic car. Now people were little surprised that how Hyundai can produce so economically cheaper cars. Now at that time they had come up with some of the very good policies, and one of their element in the policy was their uh, you know uh, the raw material from where they were taking the raw material. They were using, they obviously that company is from the Japan, and the kind of a raw material which they were using from the Japanese uh, manufacturing plants, that was considered to be a major reason behind the success of the Hyundai in the United States of America. Yes, their HR policy was also a very responsible one, but that was also one element behind it. So from where you are fetching your materials, whether you would have the domestic resources available locally, whether you will have enough number of suppliers from whom you can take the materials, analyze the economic and social trends. I have been saying this to all of you, no? I mean, see, when you are there in the finance, no, at the time of taking the investment opportunities, hell, every kind of a knowledge you should have. If there are certain trends, social trends which are being changed, and the consumers' preferences are being changed because of those changes, then this is something which affects your entire investment decision. You must be aware about it. See, it's about identifying the opportunities. More and more knowledge you have about the things, no, you will be able to identify more and more opportunities. If you see that there is one social trend happening, then try to identify that who will be the major beneficiaries of those. And if those people will be the major beneficiaries, then how much investment you can make on those industries. Now, economic and social trends might be related to many things. If I tell you that nowadays people prefer the nuclear families, I mean, they are not living in a joint families. Now, what will be the effect of this nuclear family and the kind of a social change we are able to see on the consumption when it comes to the wearing apparels, when it comes to the commodities. Now, when it was the joint family at that time, that was my personal opinion too, and I took the advice from some of the people that at that time, when the joint family culture was surviving, thriving, in fact, the storage of the gold was too much. Gold was utilized by the Indian households too much. But nowadays, we have seen that in this nuclear family, which is a social change taking place, people are not storing the gold to that extent which they were storing earlier. Nowadays, the kind of jewelries as well which the people are wearing is also not in a quantity which the earlier women used to. So anyway, that's the social change taking place, and accordingly, your investment decision will also be different, definitely. Study new technological developments. If some technological changes are taking place, then obviously some people might get affected. Everyone is aware about the Kodak, everyone is aware about the Nokia. I would not go into the case studies of those products. So identify, and I also put too much of emphasis when I take the decision making on the governance and management of the company. Because if the leadership is dynamic and if they have some good knowledge brains and they are adaptable to the new changes taking place in the industry and country across the globe, they will be able to survive. They will be able to take the maximum advantage of for their company. So identify that who are running the company first of all. Sometimes you should not just make the decision based on the financial information you have. This is entirely a subjective element, definitely. But it really matters that who is there. हाथी है, समझ वाली बात है, लेकिन हाथी के ऊपर महावत कौन बैठा है वो भी मैटर करता है. अगर महावत स्किलफुल है तो वो हाथी के पास से बहुत सारी चीजें करवा सकता है, लेकिन महावत अगर स्किलफुल नहीं है तो हाथी भी कुछ काम का नहीं रहेगा. So who runs this? Identify that. And if the government and if that governance and management is little adaptable towards the technological changes, it matters. It definitely matters. Draw clues from the consumption abroad. If some of the products which you are introducing in your country right now Obviously, you have the historical data available for that product in other countries. Identify that what is the consumption trend over there. Now, see, obviously, socio-economic factors related to particular uh, countries will also be a deciding parameter. Some of the things which are working in United States obviously will not work in India in that manner. So, what's the consumption trend? Now, this is something which is applicable to food business as well, specifically, if I tell you. Now, because of this, this metro culture, the fast food kind of companies are coming over here in the India, and I feel that there would still be a scope of the new companies in the Indian market, because if you just analyze the US market, they have hell number of branches over there. The kind of a fast food consumption through this channelized companies is much more as compared to these Indian companies. Still, there is a huge scope of some some huge changes taking place in that industry. So that's why you must have observed that Burger King was an IPO. That was Now that people took it so optimistically at that time that it had the upper circuit for continuously 8 to 10 days. It was issued at 55 rupees, around 55 to 56 rupees, and at one time it reached to around 200 rupees too. Well, so that was banking on the future potential. After that, it got down as well, because you cannot bank on the future potential blindly. There has to be some valuations too. Explore the possibility of reviewing the SIC units. Now, when it comes to the SIC units, these are the units which are making the losses. Now, sometimes when the companies are, engaging with the SIC units, no, when they are taking over the SIC units, they get some taxation benefits too. So that is also a possibility. Rather than establishing altogether a new plant of yourself, if SIC unit is there, which because SIC unit might be a SIC unit because of various reasons, they might not have the enough capital for the advertisement, they might not have the advanced plants and machineries, and if your company is having it, then try to revive those you SIC units, so you won't have to incur much of capital expenditure, and you won't have to take much of time to establish those units again. Identify unfulfilled psychological needs. Now, this is the major reason why startups in India are getting failed. People are coming up with the startups and they are telling that I have an idea, I have a creative idea, I have an innovative idea. Understood, but whether it is required or not, that's where the people are making the mistake. You must be aware that around 80 to 85% of the startups are getting closed down within just a 1 year of establishment. Do you know this? Because they have failed to identify the need of the market, the psychological need of the people. What's their problem? Try to solve the thing which is required. किसी को भजिया खाना है और तुम वहां पे पिज्जा लेके जा रहे हो, माना तुम्हें पिज्जा बहुत अच्छा आता है, तुम्हारा पिज्जा के ऊपर मास्टरी है, लेकिन उनकी डिमांड है कि मेरे को भजिया खाना है, तुम क्यों पिज्जा खिला रहे हो भाई उसे? Identify their needs and accordingly attend the trade fairs. The industry fairs are happening, people are meeting, people are sharing their ideas, people are sharing about the developments which are taking place in the industry. Attend this. More and more knowledge you will have, more and more rational decision you will be able to make. You must be aware about one of the statements by Warren Buffett. He said that the risk come from the things which you don't know. What is the simple definition of the risk? The things which you don't know is a risk. As simple as that. If you know that, you know, uh, this is how this particular share price or this industry or product is going to behave, then the risk element is eliminated. And then there is a one better word which is used, that is the calculated risk. Though there will always be some kind of an uncertainty element, No one can ignore it. But if you can quantify it right now, if you are aware about it, that what is the risk you are taking, what is at the stake, up to what percentage of amount will be at the stake, then it's the calculated risk. A risk which is calculated. You know that if this will happen, then this will happen. You know the cause and consequences. ब्लाइंडली हवा में तीर मारना तो वो तो रिस्क नहीं है, वो तो गैम्बलिंग है. रिस्क और गैम्बलिंग में फर्क होता है. रिस्क है तो इश्क है, आज लोग बोलने तो लगे, लेकिन भाई वैसे रिस्क नहीं लिए जाते. इट मस्ट बी अ कैलकुलेटेड वन. So attend the things. Try to gather more and more knowledge, and knowledge is the currency we also use, no? Here in the Marwadi University. Attend the trade fairs. Try to get the knowledge from the experts. Try to see that what are the advancements and developments taking place in the industry. Stimulate creativity of generating new project ideas. Now, see, if you are the manager of your company, then one should try to build an environment in a company where creativity is given the enough, the weightage. Try to build a kind of a culture and environment, and try to build their, entrepreneur kind of a strength as well. Try to make the culture more participative, so that people come up with their creative ideas. And obviously there has to be some reward mechanism too. If they come up with the idea and they don't get anything in return, then no one will share the idea. So to boost this kind of an environment of creativity, one has to make, that environment visible, where the new ideas are accepted, where the new ideas are received well, where the new ideas are given the incentives. And for that, the culture needs to be established. Hope the chance factor will favor you. That's the optimism. And that optimism you can have only if you have identified that what is the chance factor. See, I generally believe that the uncertainty element shall not be more than 25%. At least three-fourths of the things you must be aware about. આપણે ગુજરાતીમાં કહીએ જે જોયું જે થાશે જોયું જશે બરાબર છે, બટ થાશે જોયું જશે કેટલામાં કહેવાય? 25% એલિમેન્ટમાં કહેવાય. 100% થાશે જોયું જશે તો ન હોય બેટા, તું ઉડી જઈશ. So થાશે જોયું જશે કેટલામાં અપ્લાય કરવાનું? If at least for the three-fourths of the things if you are certain about, then for 25% of the things you can say that થાશે જોયું જશે. The chance factor will help you. People falter in identifying this opportunity. I mean, in opportunity, no, sorry, in understanding this thing. અરે થાશે જોયું જશે, સ્ટાર્ટઅપ નાખી દઈએ આગળ આગળ, જેમ એમ ન હોય બેટા. At least for 3-4 things you must be certain about. From where you will be taking the resources, if this kind of a problem arises, how you will be responding. Do you have the systematic processes to respond to these things? If the things will not go as per your requirement, then what will be the steps you will be taking? If you will not be able to earn any kind of an income for 2 years in the startup, whether you will be able to survive at that point of time or not, whether you have the alternatives available or not. Try to make it certain as much as possible. And for rest 25% which is not quantifiable, yes, you can say that જે થાશે જોયું જશે, પણ 100% ન થાય ને. So here we have the chance factor. Chance you can take, but up to certain extent. ગુજરાતીમાં એક બીજી કહેવત છે, પાંચમો હાથ દેવનો. તમને લોકોને કદાચ નહીં ખબર હોય, પણ એવું કહેવાય એમ કે પાંચમો હાથ દેવનો. તો પાંચમો હાથ દેવનો એટલે કે it's all about the luck એમ. કે 80% of the things, પાંચમો હાથ મતલબ કે 1/5. So 4/5 of the things must be dependent on your hard work, and 1/5 would be something where you will get the chance factor in your favor. Dev matlab ki you get it from luck, you get it from some other good works and deeds that you have done. So that's how it is. This is how you identify the project ideas, and this can be looked from the two different perspectives, as I've already stated to all of you. One is from the perspective of establishing a project. Another one is from the perspective of making the significant investment if you are an investor. The second one is more attractive. That's why I was, telling it to you from that perspective. Otherwise, if I just tell it from the project perspective, you would be like, sir, हम कहाँ पे हजारों करोड़ का investment करने वाले हैं? But this is applicable to so many other things too. Anyway, anyone couldn't get anything from this, you can let me know. Else I would be just signing off this session. Anywhere you require further explanation from my side, just let me know, guys. May I have a confirmation till now that you have got it, all of you? Good. So that's it from my side. And just put your enrollment number so that will be in my record for your attendance purposes. Once it is done, then you may disperse from the lecture. Bye bye. Take care. Sayonara. Enjoy the rest of the day. See you all in the next session.